Hello, I'm Carl at Trout and Fly Fishing. Today we're going to tie the Flying Squirrel Nymph. I believe this was originally tied by Tim Flagler, and it's a mashup of two flies, the bird's nest and the Red Fox Squirrel Nymph. It's fairly easy to tie, and it just looks like something fish would eat. It's typically tied in sizes 12 through 18. So here's the fly in the vise. The hook we're using today is a Daiichi 1710, and this one is a size 14, and we have a 7/64 gold tungsten bead mounted on the shank. And to add a little more weight, we're going to use some 15 thousandths wire and tie that in behind the bead. Didn't break off where I wanted it to. And our thread is going to be UTC 70 denier in the color wood duck. And we'll start right behind our lead wire, build up a small dam there to hold it in place. And run our thread up forward, forcing the lead into the back of that bead. Back down to the start of the bend of the hook where we'll tie in our tail material. In this case, we're using Hairline's Mallard flank feathers. The color is gold, wood duck gold. So we'll take several fibers, peel those off from the stem. I'm going to measure those out against the hook shank. And we want this to be a little shorter than the shank length of the hook. We'll tie those in on top. It looks about right. Cut off our excess. This fly has a rib, some ultra wire in size small in the color gold. We'll get that tied in right behind the bead. Keep it on the near side of the hook. Run our thread all the way back to the base of the tail. So our body material is going to be some of Dave Whitlock's dubbing, and the blend for the abdomen is called Red Fox Squirrel Abdomen. So I'll make a small dubbing noodle here. And we're going to run this about 2/3 of the way up the hook shank. Like so. And we'll take our ribbing material and make open spiral turns up the abdomen of the fly. And I'll take my crappy scissors and cut that wire off. And the next material we're going to tie in is going to be the legs of the fly. And for that, again, we're going to use Mallard flank feathers, but we're going to tie these in a little different. Instead of wrapping, and we want this to extend back about to the bend of the hook like so. Just distribute them as best you can. There. Cut our excess. Neaten it up a little bit. And our thorax is going to be that same Dave Whitlock pre-prepared dubbing material called Red Fox Squirrel Thorax. It's a nice dark brown. To tie this in, we're going to create a dubbing loop. Don't need a big one. You could also split your thread and do it that way. But forming the dubbing loop makes the material, once it's spun up, a lot spikier than it would be as if you just dubbed it onto the thread. And that's what we're looking for here. Doesn't take too much. We'll spin that up. And make a few turns with it. It looks kind of hairy and funky, but that's the way it's supposed to look. Capture our thread. And make a few turns, tighten it in place. Take our whip finish tool. Make a 4 or 5 turn whip finish. Seat the knot. Cut our thread. And add a little head cement. This is Loon's water base, nice and thin, soaks in really well. And our fly is complete. Feel free to add comments at the bottom of the page, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with all the current content here at Trident Fly Fishing. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again next time.